Okay, here we are, back with another edition of the Day After Podcast. What a crazy week of Survivor.
Oh yeah, it was last night, people playing the game hard, people not being quiet, and not just, new players, but also old players. A lot of talking going on.
Yeah, this was definitely a higher level Survivor play right here. Get rid of the big threat, as in Molly.
Oh yeah, Molly. Low-key, I was very upset about that.
I did not see that coming. Like, if at the beginning of the episode you said Molly was going home, I would have laughed.
I would be like, there's no way.
Yeah.
That's way too early.
Yeah, and I think it was, but, like, at the same time, great move for Jason and Nora, who were definitely on the outs.
Oh yeah.
But I also have to say, this is probably not a solid block of voting. This is very much a one, we got to get rid of this person, but you guys are still in trouble.
I mean, yeah, and then, because also, be it next episode or like 2 episodes down, team swap, and that makes everything.
Yeah. Do you still think it happens next episode?
Usually they advertise it if there is.
Was there advertisement for it? I didn't see that.
I mean, the advertisement, it was basically the main thing was that Vince might be making a new alliance, as well as whoever gets chosen for Island of the Idols has to sneak over to the other camp and do something.
Yeah.
Which will be interesting.
Yeah. I just feel like because you just had 2 tribals where both tribes had gone, why not let it play out a little longer? Because that doesn't happen very often. Usually one tribe just kind of dominates.
Yeah.
And that's why they need the tribe swap, is to then make it like, what are the tribe lines anymore? Are they still there? But if they want to go back to like old school, they would let this go for a few more tribals.
It'd be interesting if they didn't have one for once. And mostly because like it happens every season.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Anyway, back to this episode.
Yeah, we're getting into the next episode. That's next week.
Alright, so Laro comes back, the tribe, and then, for some reason I was surprised Vince was like super, like angry and stuff. Like, why my name came up?
I know, right?
It was like, you won, you're here.
Yeah.
You know which 2 voted for you.
I think the only time that you have reason to be angry after tribal is if you were on the losing ends.
Yeah.
That's the only time. If you are on the majority,
or or if you were blindsided by your closest ally or something like that. But
that's still
was sitting pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and Aaron, he had like that kind of like, he was saying what he had to say, but he just did not believe an ounce of what he was saying.
Like, he tried to stay face and stuff like that, but still being like, what the heck, man? Like, he was baffled because this just seems like the season where strong players are going home first.
Yeah, which, means that this might be a great preseason, and then who knows what the merge becomes. Because sometimes when it's just like all the big threats are gone, it's just like,
there's no one else to get rid of now.
Yeah, now it's just like, I don't care if these people go. Yeah.
But,
and also, how did you feel about Chelsea finding a hidden immunity idol? There are hidden immunity idols at camp.
For me, I like that she found it when she wasn't really looking for it.
Yeah, it's very different.
Which is perfect for the game, like, to happen upon it rather than go out looking, because if you go out looking, target on your back.
Yeah.
But, like,
she
was, like, looking around and stuff, but she just so happened to be.
Yeah, she was doing wood or whatever.
Yeah, and there were other people around, so it's, like, perfect.
Yeah, that was great. I'm not sure if I like the fact that she has it, because she kind of seems like a floater.
I don't know. I mean, she could potentially be one, but
I could see this idol not getting played till like the final 6.
Maybe. But the thing about power, once someone has it, they might be more likely to play with it.
Yeah, because then now, if they do something wrong, they're like, okay, well, I can just play at this tribal and move on to the next.
I definitely see Chelsea as like a sleeper, like a sleeper threat. She's in like the all-female alliance.
Yeah.
And so like she's probably gonna get far in the game, and then when she needs it, she'll be able to play it, and then they'll be like, oh crap, we have to get rid Chelsea.
Yeah, I honestly think the all-female alliance are probably going to run this game. Right. I think that they're going to be unbreakable, especially if they get a few people from the other tribe onto their side as well. Like, there's no stopping that. And Tom and Vince are, like, in Elaine's pockets.
Oh, yeah. Like... So, you know, if the all-female alliance from Laro does make it, then, you know, like, yeah, it's good for them in the sense because they can be swing votes. Like, if, hypothetically speaking, that's the final 7. They have that, like, little swing vote thing. Because if you're on the bottom, as we see later in the episode, you have a lot of room where you can be like, oh, okay, we can do this, and get rid of a strong player. Yeah,
very, very interesting. And also, Jason and Nora's relationship is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
It's just...
we didn't cover this on last week's, but Nora said that she trusted Jason because she reminded her of an ex that she had that was trustworthy.
Hey, you know, it's not like she's Miss Popularity, so anything she can grab onto.
Yeah.
Like, and let's just talk about her constantly, you know, complaining around camp and stuff, and how much material they had.
Oh I'm pretty
sure they were holding back with how much material of her, like, talking and complaining and all that stuff.
Oh, in a lot of the pre-game interviews and everything, she would just talk. Like, any of the interviewers, like, could not talk because she was doing everything. Okay. So, that was one sign that a lot of people were like, gosh, she's not going to do very well. But you know what? She might make it to the end with 0 votes.
Potentially. I mean, that is a sound strategy. Yeah. Surround yourself with people
and
that
Jason,
no one wants to vote.
Jason's doing it. In fact, both of them had the opportunity to throw the other one under the bus and save their sin, but they couldn't do it. They literally, like, Nora knew the right move was to throw Jason under the bus, but she couldn't do it.
Well, I mean, the great thing about that was, you know, like, because it's so often where it's like, all right, this person's gone. Okay, I'm next. So, you know, the vote after you worry about. So, like, if you have your ally that you throw on their bus, you live for another immunity, but when, you know, especially pre-merge, you're not guaranteed individual immunity or a shot at it or, like, a hidden immunity idol. So, it's important that, you know, keep people close by.
Yeah. We also have to say that this is in the Alan Ball era of Survivor, where if they think you have an idol, you strip. Because there's a lot of stripping down.
Oh, yeah. Later on when Kelly was chosen and then...
Yeah, the island... Okay, let's talk about Island Idols right now.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, Kelly was chosen, which I was like, oh, sweet. You know, like, we get to see more of her this episode. And then... when they come in and then, you know, like, give her the same spiel that they gave Chelsea last episode, it was like, all right, here are the rules, and then they specifically pointed out, you know, like, a test at the end. And I know me, as a person that, like, likes to play games and stuff, like, sometimes, you know, like, I really want to get into it. So I like the little twist that, you know, the small talk was the test.
The test, yeah. And Kelly, I mean, she aced it. She and it seemed like she wasn't paying attention at all.
Yeah, it was like, well, I mean, whenever you hear, okay, I'm going to quiz you about everything you just heard, automatically in your head, you're thinking all the, like, little details that you miss. Like, you know, like, when you read a book for class and then they make you take a test on every little aspect. Like, I remember summer reading, you know, reading a book, like, during the summer. Like, a month later, they took the test. It was like, what happened the very first page? What was the symbolism? It was like, I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
I can remember key plot points, but this specific thing, this symbolism, is like,
Yeah, well, the questions were pretty easy, I'd have to say. Even though that we had literally heard them right before they asked them, I thought that they were very easy. Like, if they were like, what are the ages of my daughters,
I think
that would be something.
They're both in their early 20s.
Yeah, there's 22.
I think 22 or 23, and then the other one was 20 or 21.
Yeah, it's like that.
See, we were paying attention.
Yeah.
But, you know, and then I liked how she was just so, like, oh, I'm not gonna do it, and then Boston Rob comes in
and sweetens that deal. I mean, yeah, I don't know if I would have taken it on the first deal, getting 4 and not knowing what the questions are, but like 3.
It's like, that's a pretty decent shot. Like, even if you were... Yeah.
And it's 3 idol. It's your next 3 tribals. Not just 3 tribals overall. It's her next 3 that she goes to.
Yeah, which, is very, very helpful just to have. Granted, I don't think she's in trouble.
No. But you never know. She's a germaphobe. That could rub people the wrong way, like a Dan. Dan wants to go touching people.
or Trout's watch, and then Lion's like, "How you doing?" Pat on the back. Don't touch me. But when she got back, she's quite the actress. So she was like, "You can check everything and all that."
The hair idol. I've never seen that in Survivor.
Yeah, smart. That's why I think in some securities they'll be like, can you pull down your hair and stuff like that, for airplanes, because you can hide stuff in your hair if you have big thick hair or a little bun.
Yeah, apparently Sandra, they didn't show this on TV, Sandra actually helped her get the idol into her hair.
That's nice.
Yeah, so that's a fun little tidbit that happens.
That's nice. The mentors still
they're still helping whoever's there.
And then still talked about the urns. I'm glad the urns is the default
everyone
thing to go to.
It seems so weird that they're going to urns and not Rob and Sandra, and just not saying that there's a game.
Well, I mean, kind of, because we talked about it last time, there's only going to be a limited amount of time before everyone kind of knows.
Yeah.
I guess early game, I feel like she did kind of mention that, there were these 2 big statues and stuff.
And there's no question on what are the statues of. It's or who are they?
I guess if I was playing, I would probably say that Boston Rob and Sandra are on the thing and they're going to teach you a skill.
Yeah.
Chelsea had the best one where it was they taught me how to make fire. Didn't have to mention the vote or.
No, it wasn't even Chelsea. It was Elizabeth.
Oh, Elizabeth.
Yeah, and she didn't even make the fire at the beginning of it. She didn't want to do it.
And it was
yeah.
So it's
that's what got me, was at the beginning was them trying to do fire, and I was just waiting for Elizabeth to just be like, hold my stuff, guys, and then do it, and she didn't do it.
It was Chelsea that started fire, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's why I got confused.
They're both
they're both girls. They're on the same tribe. I think both of them are blonde, or dirty blonde, or brown.
They're 2 girls on the same tribe who don't have a lot of professional
it's early game. We're still learning people. But yeah.
Yeah. The Lero tribe definitely did not get a lot of screen time in this episode. This was very much the purple tribe.
Well, I guess it was mostly because of the build up for the drama that was going to happen after they lost the immunity challenge.
Yeah.
Mostly because there was a lot of stuff that was stewing and stuff like that, and also seeing how they have to include, Island of the Idols.
Yeah.
That takes obviously that's more of the,
That takes up 10 minutes of the hour already.
Yeah. And then as her being a Vokai member, her getting picked up, her going out there, her coming back, that's a lot of Vokai screen time. So.
Yeah. No, it's fair. Well, let's then get into the immunity challenge, because I think that's about next. So Janet, once again, dominating.
Yeah, she's just so great.
Yeah.
It's...
She's competing with an Olympic swimmer.
I know, and
in swimming.
She's there in the water. Well, I mean, she's a lifeguard. So,
yeah, but still,
for years and not in years.
She's 59,
and she's she's doing the right things in there.
She wasn't even close to being a consideration for the vote tonight.
No. But yeah, though, when they were trying to get to the balls that were up on the ladder and they're not.
That was a bit of a train wreck.
I was like, oh, come on, and then when Lara almost lost their bag because they threw it in, I'm like, why would you throw something like that in? I know you have to get down the ladder.
Yeah. Well, just drop it to another teammate. Because they're all right there.
Like, I wouldn't risk that. I'm like, unless you have really good aim and you're throwing on the beach.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah, this was a great episode for Chelsea, except for that moment, because she was the one who lost the bag temporarily.
But, I mean...
Didn't matter, but...
And then, let's talk about, the ball portion of it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Jamal, he was, he was making up time, too. Like, I feel like if the other team did not mess up the ladder so much, they could have potentially won it, because he was... he may have been playing a lot of skee ball back home and stuff like that.
Yeah, I thought this was going to actually be another lay road. Like, by the time we got to the balls, I thought, like, oh, man, this could just be one of those come-from-behind victories. Ended up not happening, but it was very close. It was right there. So do we want to now talk about what happened after the challenge?
Yeah, rule number 1. Don't assume you're safe.
Yeah.
If you're going to Tribal Council and you don't have immunity.
This was a classic rookie mistake.
It's so...
And I don't understand how that's still a problem in Survivor.
I understand, like, early game, like, some votes are more obvious than others. And it's still a thing of, like, even if you're not talking strategy with your main alliance, still see where everyone's head's at and like be looking at who's where, who's talking to who. And that was
literally Jamal said, "I'm gonna go take a nap," and then it cuts to him taking a nap.
And I'm like, dude, people could be talking about you behind your back.
Yeah.
And you won't even notice. Like
he like, if you're at least there, you can stop gameplay strategies.
Exactly.
But if you're taking a nap, it gives them the opportunity to make those gameplay strategies.
Yeah, it's like, I just don't know why, like, and then him saying later at Tribal Council was like, oh yeah, we're in first gear right now. And I'm like,
no.
Here's the thing about any competition. If you're not on the same gear as your opponent and they're ahead of you, you're going to lose.
Yeah. You always want to be just slightly above your opponents.
Exactly.
You never want to be below or at the same.
Like, I understand overplaying can be a thing that can get you voted out.
In fact, but there's a difference between overplaying and slightly being above everyone else.
Yeah. Which, dang. It was, but, props to, Jason and Nora being able to make the comeback.
Do you think it was them? I think it's Lauren. Lauren was very much...
In a sense, yeah, she's the one that kind of was like, all right, let's do this. Yeah, like, why be the sheep? But I feel like those two were the ones that kind of, like, opened their eyes because, like, Lauren could have just even, like, oh, yeah, just go with, like, Molly and Jack and Jamal. And then, like... just make sure she's safe for this vote. But because, they were vocal about trying to get rid of Molly and stuff like that, it's like, why not? Why not? Because she says she wants to be ruthless in this game, and this was her, like, first opportunity.
And I think she was pretty ruthless.
Oh, yeah, she was happy about it.
Yeah, like, the easy votes easily was take out Nora and Jason, and she was like, no, heck no. If she's going to be making and, like, willing to make big moves like this, I'm all for it.
I know, but her doing that so early might just put a target on her back, too.
Yeah, but she could also be, like, the god mother of everything.
The great thing about Lauren is that she is on the surface and deep down she's nice and bubbly and stuff like that. She kind of reminds me of Deja a little bit.
Oh yeah, Deja.
A college classmate / friend of ours. And so but she came there to play, and then it'd be like, all right, it'll be fun to do this stuff. And so, I feel like she might be able to get far as long as she keeps all that stuff under wraps.
I think she's making the merch.
I definitely feel like she can. However, as we've learned last night,
anything can happen. Man.
Yeah, and then, freaking Xian, he was like, I'm not sure I want to do that because, like, then I lose 2 allies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of Tommy's decision here?
Well, that's the thing about, like, especially early on in the game, you have to get in with a group.
Yeah.
And especially early game, let's say if it was 13 people, odds are 4 to 3 of those people aren't going to be there. Make sure it's not you. Like, you can be on the bottom of that, let's say 7 that make it on, or 6.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, if those allies aren't going to make it to the end, don't go on a sinking ship. And I just feel like since everyone just hopped on the bandwagon to get rid of the popular kids,
mm-hmm.
which I find is weird.
Yeah, I didn't look at those groups as popular and the nerds at all.
It was like, these are just 3 people that are, they're
kind of just like chill.
Yeah, they're attractive and stuff like that, but it's not like, they're rubbing, it's not like they're isolating anyone.
They're still like in the group and like still talking to everyone, but it's just like, it was weird. I still don't think though that Jamal and Jack are on the outs by any means.
I feel like it might be possible. Because I think definitely Jamal, where he was like, he didn't bring his bags, and he was like, I don't need to worry about that. You guys need to worry. I think that was a wake-up call for him, and now he's going to feel like he's on the bottom because, when your closest ally gets voted off, then you're like, oh crap, I'm screwed.
Yeah, well, I think he might feel it, but I don't think that he's in trouble at the next tribal council. Just because it very much seemed like a coalition to get rid of the strong player.
I mean, also, I know this season it's like, strong players, let's get rid of them now. But, both Jamal and Jack, last, episode, Jack was helping everyone up. And then this episode, Jamal almost got them to come back.
Yeah.
They went from, like, a landslide loss to something that was super, super close.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's another thing to keep in mind.
But strength doesn't always come from big muscles.
No.
Which is why it's a huge shock Molly win, because we thought she had a great social game. She was integrated herself well with the tribe, and because of that, that's what deemed her a strong player.
Like, I know I use this phrase every so often, but a sleeper threat. Felt like Molly, she was, I would say, a level below that, where it was like, oh yeah, she definitely seems like a leader, but not necessarily someone that seems like a threat right now.
Yeah, people were saying that she was like Parvati. She's like the next.
Okay.
I don't think it's that.
It's like, okay, okay. It's only one. They haven't even went to their first tribal council. You don't know everyone's playing style yet.
Yeah, you can't just.
You don't necessarily know someone's playing strategy until like you have a tribal on your hand.
Yeah, exactly. I think people are always wanting to toss out like the big popular, like you're a Boston Rob type, you're a Parvati type.
I mean, the people that cast this, they look for these specific archetypes. Like, we have them. We got the big guy. We always have like the wild card, the buff guy that might start shit around the camp.
The awkward white guy who gets the dodo music.
But I mean, we have like these different archetypes because, like every character on there has a story, and then like, at the end of the season it's like, all right, this person, Janet, coming from almost an entire series of her prototype going, out like first or second, finally broke the not finally broke the mold, but broke the mold despite all odds.
Yeah. And I'm still saying Janet's gonna win.
I feel like it's a very strong possibility. Like, I honestly and genuinely hoping she makes it to the finale.
Yeah.
Her, Sheehan, and then I definitely think Missy. I feel like, granted, we didn't get to see a lot of her last episode, but we'll see.
What about Elaine?
Elaine, I feel
she's probably going to be one of the first merge boots.
I don't think the first. I feel
like one of the first.
Once we get to the single digits, and people start thinking about the end game.
There's no way that you're letting her
get
there.
She's way too likable.
And I don't think she's got the challenge strength to just go on an immunity tear.
Maybe not.
Unless you get rid of all the strong guys like Jack and Jamal.
Well, I mean, that's what early merge. That's usually when those guys go. Yeah. Getting choked up, just seeing them.
Just seeing them go. Yeah.
They're snuffed. But okay. And then.
Do we want to get to Tribal?
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about Tribal.
So back in their little spy shack.
Yeah, it felt like they were not as vocal this time.
Yeah.
I felt like there was a little less of them kind of coming in.
Mm-hmm. And then I feel this one it was like Molly. She just felt she was safe the entire time. Jamal did as well.
Same.
And it was basically I feel a come dry thing of like they knew that they knew that what they were gonna do going into it, and those three did not see it coming.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason is just like the stripping down.
Yeah, he did the island ball technique of just strip down, and I mean, like why not? Why won't you just strip down if you don't have anything?
I mean, yeah, I feel like now that's gonna be something that's gonna be like, especially after Kelly just hiding in the air.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for guys it'll be harder.
Yeah.
I guess unless you swallow it.
Yeah, you just swallow it and then regurgitate it out like an hour later.
That would be a sick reveal.
That would be sick in many different ways.
Yes, that was intentionally meant to have double meaning.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel that it was sad seeing Molly go so soon because she seemed like someone that probably would have came back for more seasons as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they needed someone she seemed like someone that could have potentially been amongst the Wentworths or the Spencers, and it was people will look at her like, oh yeah, they might have never won, but they're pretty cool, and it's always nice seeing
it's
them.
Never too late. A second boot could always come back.
It's rare though. The only early boot they ever brought back, besides Tina, who already won in her original season, Francesca, and she was still
the first boot
she got, which was sad.
It was fun. I hope that she comes back on the same season with Philip Shepard and she votes out Philip.
Oh, that would be poetic.
That would be so great.
But yeah, and we have noticed in newer seasons that they're not necessarily against bringing back people that went out pre-merge, like Caleb.
Yeah, Caleb, Michaela.
Though Caleb, with him, he got injured.
Yeah, that was not under his control.
Yeah. But, it's definitely interesting to see, how this is going to play out for the rest of them, especially how, where do we go now? Where it's are we going to go after the two people that we originally didn't like? Or now that we have, a solid, 7, why not take off those two? Because we're in the age where it's 13 people make a merge.
Yeah.
So it's 7 is all you really need, or 6 if we're talking a split down middle.
Yeah. Yeah. There's that. So I also realized we didn't give out the MVP award for last week.
Oh yeah.
We need to give out an MVP, and I think it's also fair that we give out a doo-doo award to the person who played the worst.
So last week I definitely feel it was Janet.
Janet? You're giving it to Janet.
Yeah, she just made fire right there and just totally destroyed, everyone's, perception of her.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I feel Elaine is an honorable mention.
Yeah, she's. It's definitely between those two.
I feel the only reason why I don't think Elaine would be is because she didn't realize her power, which the best thing about having power is knowing you have it. That way you can play different ways, but she was freaking out, so that's why I'm going with Janet for last week.
Okay. What about for the doo-doo? I would probably give it to Jason. Yeah. Even though Ronnie was the one who voted out, it doesn't always have to be the one who got voted out.
Yeah, I feel Jason, You don't do that. Like, we were talking, like, Chelsea just happened upon it, so, like...
Yeah.
I mean, you have to make those connections. Even, like, with, Island of Idols, like, making the connections are so important. Yeah. And especially when you're in that kumbaya state, people are looking for a reason to target someone.
Yeah, they are, like, even though everyone's all happy, they're waiting for a separation and be like, hey, this is the majority. But, because, at least with Ronnie, even though his gameplay wasn't good, he was having some gameplay and had people, like, thinking about it.
Yeah, I feel like the problem with Ronnie, he just chose the wrong person.
Yeah.
But
yeah, if he had chosen Vince instead, I think Vince was the first boots.
Possibly, yeah.
But I don't know, but, like, I think that things would have been different.
I definitely think so.
Yeah. Elaine would have had to step up for Vince.
Oh, yeah. Which, well, too late now.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
that's this week, I don't know, like, Kelly, I feel there's a strong argument where, she... A, made herself seem like less of a threat with her tribe, and B, won, the idol that's good for her next 3.
With the hair idol, that was
the hair idol was
first
clever.
Time ever.
So I give her props for that. Part of me might be, I want to give it to Kelly, but I am very much aware. I feel like the honorable mention would be possibly Jason, because he saved himself from an early boot. So yeah.
So you're giving it to Kelly?
Yeah.
With Jason as honorable mention?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the doo-doo edit definitely goes to Jamal here. He was just out of it.
I wouldn't say Jamal mostly because he almost brought back the immunity challenge.
Yeah, but he still lost.
Yeah.
He didn't succeed in a single thing he did. He's the reason why Molly really got out. Like, I think if he would have tried a little harder.
I feel like if I had to give it to anyone, I don't want to give it to Molly because...
Yeah, I think it's always a cop-out to give it to the person who got voted out, unless they legit did something that caused them to get voted out.
Other than not strategizing, but I guess Jamal was more vocal about not strategizing.
Yeah, he literally was saying, like, come at me. Like, he was giving them a reason.
And bring his bags.
Yeah.
So, I guess, yeah.
I think that was what really did it for me.
Alright, I think, yeah, Jamal. But, hey.
Yes, yeah. I'm excited to see who else gets the doo-doo award.
Yeah, it could be anyone.
Yeah, it's a lot of great players have doo-doo moments.
Exactly. Some of the best players have famous doo-doo moments, like Tyson just being like, you know what, hero versus villain? Alright.
Yeah,
just be like,
he votes himself off.
Stupid. And then he ends up winning the next season he's on.
Yeah, like, that's crazy. I saw Heroes vs. Villains before I saw Token Teens.
Same.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I saw, like, the final 6 of Token Teens.
Okay. Yeah. I saw Survivor in such weird orders. Like, I saw a lot of All-Star seasons before I saw a lot of people's original seasons.
I mean, I guess because I started with Token Teens right near the end of that. So, like, there was a lot of me, like, going back and watching everything via Amazon or CBS All Access.
Yeah.
But, now, I know I've seen everything. How many seasons do you have left?
There's a few of the early seasons that I haven't seen.
CBS All Access have
that's what I've been
sponsored.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot because I recently for the first time watched Pearl Islands.
Ooh,
and I saw the Amazon.
Yeah, Pearl Islands was great. Johnny Fairplay is one of my favorites. OGs.
Yeah.
I had to take a break after Fans vs. Favorites because of how he went out. First of all, Second of all, it was like, we didn't get to see any of his stuff. Like, he didn't have... Like, I understand he wanted to be there for his girlfriend. At the same time, I'm like, you made it all the way back there.
Yeah.
Well, let's see some fair play.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed in that. But I wanted to see in Pearl Islands fair play versus Lil.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been really...
I'm surprised Lil has never come back.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, she was a little older. And I feel like she got made fun of a lot for that season.
Possibly. But, I mean, like, all things being said, like, she was able to come back from being voted off early.
Yeah.
and then, you know, making it to the end.
Yeah.
But, you know. Anyway, yeah. I think that wraps it up.
Yeah, I think that's the end of this. Come back next week for week 3 of the Survivor Day After podcasts.
See you all next week.
Peace.